Here's a story about a high-speed vehicle pursuit I initiated back in 1996 that we eventually decided to call off because we weighed it and decided that it was getting too dangerous. So in the next several posts in the foreseeable future, every other post I'm going to make is going to regard a pursuit or use of force scenario that I personally witnessed or experienced, and every other post is going to be a very short information post about intelligence analysis, international relations and geopolitics, conflict analysis and resolution, in hopes that the viewers will gain at least some basic foundation or understanding of the methods and approaches for intelligence analysis, conflict analysis, and conflict resolution, and those theories. If this sounds like it's something interesting to you, or you think it might be informative or useful, please consider giving me a follow, like, subscribe, and share the videos. Now, regarding this high-speed pursuit, what had happened was we had been given a BOLO, or be on the lookout tip, from our regional undercover narcotics type units regarding a specific vehicle's make, model, year, color, and license plate. And they told us if we saw that vehicle parked at a certain residence in our city, that they assessed with high confidence that this guy had at least one key of pretty pure ether-based white powdery substance in brick form in his trunk that he was delivering to another location from a source in California. So they told us, if you can get a traffic stop on this guy, a search of the trunk might yield a pretty good bust. So I just happened to be on patrol on an evening or swing shift that night, driving through the town, passed by that residence, and there's that car. So I called it out, but I didn't see any activity, and I parked in the back parking lot of a nearby bar and kind of scoped it out with my binos for a while. But this isn't detectives, and I'm not on a stakeout. I'm a regular patrol officer, so I do have to respond to other calls for service. So I had to respond to a couple of other calls. I had to take a couple of reports, and I figured my chances of seeing this vehicle again were gone. But I happened to be driving through a little bit later, and sure enough, that vehicle was still there, and it pulled out in front of me going the same direction. He didn't see me at first, but after he got in front of me, I could see him look in his rear view mirror, and he saw me, and he just started hauling ass. He floored it. He went through a couple of stop signs. So I hit my lights, I hit my siren, I called out 3306 in pursuit. Within probably about 1 to 2 minutes, I had 4 additional units behind me as we spilled out into the main highway or byway going through our town, which was a 4-lane, 2 lanes in each direction. Speed limit was 45. It was nighttime. There wasn't a whole lot of traffic, but this guy was still driving dangerous, and we were having to take certain precautions. He started heading out of town. He had to go through 2 red light intersections. Those lights were red. He slowed down a little bit. He was going about 85 in the 45 mile per hour zone. Slowed down to maybe 50 or so as he cleared the intersections, but he blew through 2 red lights before getting through around the edge of town. So we get through the edge of town, the road starts narrowing, and we start getting into like hill and high desert country, some cliffs and such. So the road starts getting windy, almost like a mountain pass type of road. Now, we were starting to catch up with this guy a little bit on some of the turns, because there's some hairpin turns where the speed limit comes down to like 20 miles an hour. So we were catching him on some of those, but he was in a Mustang, and on the straightaways, he was just blowing us away. So after a while, we made a risk-based decision, and our best bet was he's either going to crash, which we didn't want to happen, or he's going to run out of gas. So it was a roll of the dice if he's going to run out of gas. But based on the belief that the product that we suspected he contained in the trunk of his car, per the narcotics guys, we didn't know of any fatalities in our region at that time coming from that product. But we did know of some fatalities that were caused by high-speed pursuits in the state recently. So we looked at that and we said, the way this guy is going, the way he's sometimes veering off into the opposing traffic lane, even though it's nighttime and we don't see any traffic coming, if he ends up running into somebody that's coming at him, it's going to be catastrophic. So the decision was made by the sergeant and the state police guy to call off the pursuit because we were in a remote region. We weren't going to have a state guy ahead of this guy that was going to be able to lay down a stop stick. So they called the pursuit off. You guys let me know if you think they made the right decision based on that risk-based approach, weighing it based on the product that he may have had in his vehicle. Was that dangerous enough? Should we have considered continuing the pursuit? Or did we make the right decision calling the pursuit off? I don't even care if you're a cab. Just don't simply reply by saying a cab. Add value to the conversation by discussing what your idea of better public safety would be. Have a great night.